in our mailbox, the AP from our school had written us wonderful little notes. And yeah, that made me happy. Happy Fake Friday. It is Tuesday. We had school Monday and Tuesday, and now we are starting Thanksgiving holiday. We have Wednesday, then Thursday's Thanksgiving. We have Friday off, and my lights just came on. I should turn off my car. I was waiting to pull forward. We might still pull forward again, but that's all good. I'm in Carline. You can tell. How was the day? We had 3 students as we were supposed to, and I mean 2 of them really, they go their own ways, so it's a lot of work. But things were going well, and then my watch and phone started exploding. I was getting all these calls from Leesburg, and then I was getting text messages about make your follow-up appointment with this doctor, and I had already made an appointment, so I'm like, And then I was getting more calls. They were starting to go voicemail, and I was reading the transcripts in between, like dealing with the kids. Like, there's no in between. I was taking like 15 seconds away from my time with the kids and looking at this, like, what is going on? And it's like, the doctor's going to be out of town, so you need to make an appointment. She was already out of town for 2 weeks, which is why we're having to wait so long for our December 4th appointment. And then I finally tried to call back because we have all these people coming to observe at 9:30. I'm like, I need to make this stop. It's so distracting. She just kept calling. And I could barely hear her. There's kids knocking down their block towers, and I did get the gist that the doctor's still going to be out of town, and she was suggesting all these other people cover for her, but they don't know the situation. Oh, we aren't going to pull forward. Okay. Excuse me. We're going to pull forward. So I was like, sorry, when my phone connected, it disconnected us. I was talking to you. So eventually, like a minute into the call, I'm like, I can't deal with this right now. I'm gonna have to do it later. And she's like, yes. You can just set it up online or call me. At that point, it was like 9:35. They were supposed to come at 9:30. It was a little bit later when they came, which it was fine. Like, it's probably a good thing. They got to see part of music, which is at 10, since they're only supposed to be there for 30 minutes, and I was dealing with all that madness. But they arrived, and I'm busy transitioning the kids from table toys to centers, which is just kind of stations around the room. So I don't really see all the entering, but eventually I look over at our sensory table. The car in front of me just keeps not pulling forward. I don't know what they're doing. They're like on their phone. I'm like, pull forward. This is the second time I've sat here waiting to pull forward. Anyway, I look over to sensory, and there's our AP, which is required if a parent visits a program for an observation. And obviously the parent, okay, I'm gonna turn this off again. And this was our I would say high school, but we have continuing education in our SPED program through the age of 22, I believe, and you get really job-focused courses. So this is through that program. So we had that student, their job coach. Then there was another lady sitting at the table. I was like, oh. I just briefly took that in and then went back to what I was doing. I have an easy time just like being involved with the kids when there's people observing. I'm able to get back to what I'm doing easily. So we had planned in advance that I would be with whichever of our needier kids were off on their own so that my teacher could be with the high school student and guiding him because she's his mentor basically. So I was off with one of my friends who had just got his communication device and working with him with his animals. I was going through the motor planning, which is when you choose the words. It's the same as your head is thinking of the words you want to say and your mouth does the movements. Instead, your head is thinking of the word and your hand does the movements through the menus. So I've been learning my way through, but mostly focusing on the animals. You had to click places, I think, and then zoo, and then it has like the zoo animals, and he loves his animal figurines. So I would either push them or I would take the animal and tap the animal to its picture. That got him interested in the device for the first time, me tapping it, because he started to pick them up and tap them, the animals. But today he was realizing that when he tapped the animal after me, it wasn't making a sound, and he had heard the sound the other day. So he would put the animal down and use his finger, and then I was like, he's touching with his finger, like totally ignoring the fact there was a table. I was like, and my teacher's like, I know, he started doing that. And then a minute later, I'm like, he's motor planning, he's going through the menus. She's like, I know. I was like, I'm so proud of you. And then music was how it always is. We're trying to keep one of our friends involved. We know which songs he's the most involved and engaged in, but it's a lot of like, we're dancing, but we're also blocking the exit from the carpet, and we made it through. And at one point in the middle of music, another guy comes in and sits down. There's no more room at sensory. He sits in our kitchen, like play kitchen, and I just like turn and see him. He's like, oh, go ahead, like go about your business, don't mind me, kind of wave. I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like, hey, there's somebody else now, to my teacher, and she's like, oh. She actually recognized the person, and it's like a supervisor in SPED for the district. I was like, okay. So there was a lot of people. I think they weren't quite sure who was going to be there, and so we ended up with more than we needed, but cover your bases, I guess. But it was all fine, and everybody seemed really happy with how everything went. And yeah, after music, we get the kids backpacks on and head out to lunch, and then straight out to recess, and then straight out to the buses and cars and send them home. So I went to the office to get our attendance folder, and in our mailbox, the AP from our school had written us wonderful little notes, and yeah, that made me happy. I like to be appreciated and feel like I'm doing something right. But I had lunch with Sebastian since we went on school Friday, and then I did planning, and I made a 5 little snowflakes booklet. We like these little half-page booklets, and I used Canva because that's what we have. Found some cute clip art and got those printed out. We didn't have time to laminate and cut them and stuff, but we can do that after break, because we have a week of our grocery unit left after break, because we paused to do Thanksgiving for a week. And then we're gonna do gingerbread for 1 week and snow. That'll be for snow, but we do like to plan in advance. And then I tend to jump in to help the PM class when their speech therapist leaves and they're down an adult and doing all the potty breaks. I jump in and help with their end of centers, and then snack time, pack up, and dismissal. And then that was it. Sebastian rode home with me, and now I'm in Carline, and I don't know what the rest of the day is going to look like, but I'm hoping I can sleep in tomorrow. I do have work all weekend, a long weekend break, whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna crochet, watch a video, I guess, and yeah, bye. I'm gonna say goodnight. It is 8:35. I asked Sebastian to be ready for bed by 8:45. He's still downstairs eating dessert, so I don't know if that's gonna happen, but I'm going to be in his bed waiting for him, editing this video, because I want to go to bed. My eye is twitching. Trying to think of if there's anything else I need to debrief. I felt like there was something else I thought of, and it's gone now. It's out of my head. Oh, it's gonna be 11 degrees warmer tomorrow. I think it's gonna drop down really crazy though. Thursday or Friday or both. Anyway, what did I think of to tell you? I don't even know. It'll come back to me or it won't. But do anyone need to go out to dinner at a seafood place? They have really good french fries and I can get a salad, so everybody was good with that. And then I had a bath and I finished a square in the baby blanket I'm making. So now I have 6 squares done. I don't know how many I'm gonna do total. I'm just gonna see how it turns out. When I'm happy with the size, I will put a border around it as I do for all the ones I donate. So this weekend, I really need to redo my braids because I never did them in October. I was gonna do the color to purple right before Halloween and then do the rest kind of at the beginning of November. But we all know how October went. It's funny because I got a fortune at the restaurant we went to Saturday night and it said October will be a fabulous, amazing, wonderful month. I was so annoyed at that I didn't even take a picture of it. I'm like, I hope you mean next October because that was probably the worst month of my life. I don't know. But I just derailed. Yeah. Need to do my hair this weekend. Need to do freelance work. I need to sleep. My eyelid keeps twitching. Life is stressful and exhausting. I still love my job though. And I feel like I do a good job even though I'm very new and I don't know anything. I was talking to my teacher about this. She was like praising me for doing some graphic design. And I'm like, I'm glad I can do something good because I don't know anything. And she was like, well, that's what's good. Like every year we don't know what it's going to be like. We don't know what the students going to be like. Apparently they had some extremely violent behaviors last year, like you need Kevlar bite arm guards. And I did see her in them around the school and I thought they were like carpal tunnel things, but no, they were, so she didn't get bit. So I'm thankful that I'm going in on an easy year. But she's like, you never know, and you're getting to start small. And I'm like, yeah, I will say you don't need to tell me things twice. And I'll also watch what people do and file that away to try. I'll have that mental list of things I can try in different situations. And yeah, when we get new students, yes, we start from scratch, but I'll have these techniques that I've picked up and been taught. So it was good to get good feedback today. And my teacher was telling me how she was praising me to her husband. She's like, I was telling my husband about you. I was like, oh no, because I had just literally said, sorry, I need to complain about Canva and how annoying it is. She's like, oh, I was like, oh no, then I complain all the time. Oh, okay. He's getting ready, so it looks like we're on track. He's got 5 minutes to brush his teeth and do his medicine. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I will see you tomorrow. Stay safe, be kind, and don't forget, wash your hands.